This is how I went from climbing V4 to my first outdoor V8 in 6 months. This year I fell in love with outdoor climbing as I began to go more and more often with my friends. In June of 2023, I sent my first outdoor V4 called Hector's Toe Hook in Niagara Glen. I projected this climb for 3 sessions prior to sending it, and at this time I've been climbing on and off for about 5 years, but was plateaued at the V4 to V6 range when climbing indoors. After sending this climb, I knew that this year was the year I wanted to finally overcome this V4, V6 plateau.
You got it, come
Nice.
on, come on.
Yeah. Woo! Oh, is that it? Is that the problem?
Yeah.
Oh, now we're...
To improve, I decided to make a training schedule. Since I'm also in medical residency, I have to balance training to become a doctor and training to become a great climber. And I could only realistically climb a maximum of 3 days a week. And I had to create a training plan that was effective, but also time efficient. So my training schedule centered around 3 days. The first day, which is either Monday or Tuesday, was a power day, where I'd warm up. I would do limit bouldering with gym sets for about an hour, do board climbing for 30 minutes, and then train power for the last 10 to 20 minutes of my session. My second day, which was either Wednesday or Thursday, I would focus on endurance, where I'd again warm up for 10 to 15 minutes, then do a warm up with gym sets, board climbing, followed by endurance climbing, which was doing 4x4s on a board. On my third day, I focused on technique. So I'd start with a 10 to 15 minute warm up, followed by warming up on gym sets for 30 minutes, and then really focusing on technique and mastering movement by doing slabs, which I know is my weakness, and also trying to flash each climb that I got on. You might also see on my training plan that I don't have dedicated time for finger strength training, and that's because I found great success with the emails twice daily hangboarding protocol, which is about 10 minutes of hangboarding twice a day, where you cycle through various grip positions, and I found that my fingers felt a lot stronger and a lot healthier after doing this for many days in comparison to just training max hangs less frequently, like once a week. I also added exercises to my warm-up that helped activate muscles that I was having trouble activating on the wall. In this case, I'm doing glute bridges to activate my glutes in order to help me with body tension and keeping my feet on the wall. I also did exercises to stretch and warm out my wrists, considering my wrist injury. I also incorporated the sprayer wall into my warm-up, and I did 3 things. One was to do movements that opened up the hips and helped me to stretch out my hips while I was on the wall. 2, to use small footholds and trying to place as much weight as I could on them in order to decrease the amount of weight I was pulling with my arms. And 3, intentionally practicing toe hooks and heel hooks, as I found that many outdoor climbs rely on toe hooks and heel hooks for the beta. I also switched up how I climbed gym sets. So the first thing I did was committing to the beta. So I would read the route, I'd imagine the beta that I want to do, and try my best to commit and to flash every boulder. Even if I wasn't in my best body position or if I hit the hold the wrong way, I'd try my best to finish it. Another thing I did was to limit the amount of tries I did on each boulder in order to make sure that each try I was giving 100%, and also to ensure that I adequately rested between each try of the boulder. If I had to choose one highest yield change in the past 6 months that's made me a stronger climber, it would be spending more time on system boards. Board climbing builds technique, finger strength, body tension, and power, and a great place to start would be climbing on the kilter board, because its adjustable angle makes it beginner friendly, the holds are softer on the skin and less painful, and it's great for endurance training such as on the minutes and 4x4s. On the right is my first V8 on the kilter board, which I sent in August 2023. I also fell in love with the Moonboard because it had powerful climbing. The holds are sharper and rougher, the feet are worse, but you can imagine the Moonboard is generating power from non-optimal positions. On the right is my first Moonboard V7, which was Licked Blick, which I sent in November of this year. Now moving on to how I built strength and power throughout my training plan. And to do this, I did a lot of weighted pull-ups. So for weighted pull-ups, I started with my body weight and then slowly worked my way up to my 1 rep max. My 1 rep max ended up being about 100% of my body weight, which was 140 pounds. And then for building strength, I would do sets of 3 to 5 pull-ups, like 3 sets with an added 95 pounds, which was 70% of my 1 rep max. I also loved training one arm pull-ups because I thought it was awesome to be able to pull up your body weight just with one arm. This took about 2 months of training, and you progress by doing pull-ups, weighted pull-ups, and assisted one-arm pull-ups. By the end of my training, I was able to do 3 one-arm pull-ups on the right and 2 one-arm pull-ups on the left. After I unlocked this, thanks to the finger strength I built from Emil's fingerboarding routine, I also built the strength to do one-arm dead hangs on a 20mm edge on the Beastmaker 2000. And this was cool because it built shoulder stability, finger strength, and on the right hand I was able to hang for 10 seconds, left hand 3 seconds, and then left hand with 10 pounds of weight assistance for the full 10 seconds. I also wanted to improve my baseline endurance and train power endurance because I realized that my project outside was a power endurance climb. And to do this, I did an exercise called 4x4s, where you choose 4 climbs. You climb each climb 4 times in a row with minimal rest in between. And in doing this, you aim to have that climb repeated 4 times within 2 to 3 minutes. Then between each set of climbs, I did maybe a 5-minute rest, and then I did the same thing. I climbed another climb 4 times in a row with minimal rest in between. At first, this was really, really difficult. I was like panting at the end of my session, but it's super gratifying to be able to do these moves that are almost at your limit over and over, and knowing that you've locked them in enough to repeat it feels very satisfying and feels like you are improving as a climber. And now we finally get to my project, which was Orient Express V8 in Niagara Glen. So this is a power endurance climb that has a lot of great holds and interesting footwork that make it like a classic power endurance climb in Niagara Glen. I had a lot of trouble with this move from a tiny left hand crimp to a right hand check, and you can see me repeat it over and over and over. I tried in the daytime, I tried in the nighttime. And I finally land it, except I only get 2 fingers in the jug, and because of this I fall off. Now I'll finally let this end do the talking.
Come on, Fred. Come on, Fred. You have to keep the lungs working. You don't put circle smoke through your lungs. Come on. You're not gonna work. Are you even? Come on. Come on. How would a clean air feel, dude? You're not gonna appreciate good air. Well done, smooth. Come on. Let's go, Francis. There it is.
Nice.
Let's go.
Come
on.
on.
Yeah. Let's
yes,
go.
Come on.
You know what's next? Let's go. Take your time, please.
Easy.
Breathe,
Come on,
breathe.
dude. Nice. All yours. Dude. All yours.
Yeah.